Hello, welcome to the News Minute. Today we are going to discuss the caste census. Government in Bihar has gone to the Prime Minister to ask that the government hold a caste census. So my first question is that amidst this new push for a caste census, more and more BJP allies are asking the union government to introduce it. What is your stand on it? Does India really need a caste census? If yes, then why? If no, then why? We'll go to Sangeet Sethi sir before.
Okay. First of all, I thanks and congratulate the News Minute for conducting this debate. Regarding the caste census, it is very much need of the hour of the country because every government development activities needs to be a data to implement their policies and their attitude towards the people will decide on the policies they are taking and being implemented. For that, they need compulsorily the data. That is why the caste census should be done in the 2021. Otherwise, it will take another 10 years to go for the caste census. The BJP government has promised in 2018 in the parliament itself. Rajnath Singh, then Home Minister, promised in the parliament that they will conduct the caste census in the year 2021. But now the BJP Union Deputy Home Minister in the Rajya Sabha said, Nityanand Rai said, we will not take the caste census in the 2021. This double game will not help the OBCs as well as the BJP party too. That is why their allies are demanding the caste census. This should be done one go now. Otherwise, the nation will go into the upper caste domination and they will dictate terms and the lower rung of the people remain at the lowest hub. That's why the caste census should be taken now.
Tejas, would you like to add?
Yeah, so this demand actually is not new. The first backward class commission also had recommended that caste census should be conducted in 1961 because that report came out in 1950s, and after that the second backward classes commission, which is known as Mandal Commission, that also had recommended that caste census should be conducted, and then again in 2001, 2011, same demand was made, but the parties promised that they'll conduct caste census, but they did not. And now again, as Srinivas sir said, that Rajnath Singh in Parliament had promised that they'll conduct caste census, but then they went back on their promise. This and we also have to understand that this is like the caste census was being done during the British time. British conducted caste census, in almost all of their censuses, right from 1872 till 1931. That was the last caste census that happened. But even now, even in the current census, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, their socio-economic data is collected. It is only the OBCs and the upper castes, their data is not collected. And therefore, I feel that it's not difficult if the government really wants to collect the data, it will not be difficult for them.
Like you mentioned, there used to be a caste census, and then for 90 years, India has not had a caste census. Why do you think it was discarded in the first place?
In the first place, after 1931, next census has taken in the 1941. 1941 is after the 1939 World War. The caste census was not taken in the 1941 census because of the World War. And after in the 1951, the Nehruvian socialistic approach is said that no caste discrimination will be there in their government, and that's why they have not taken the caste census. Even though Babasaheb Ambedkar has demanded that the national BC Commission will be enacted and BC reservation will be implemented. That is why he has demanded that, and his demand was not met. That is why he resigned from the Nehru cabinet. One of the demand in his resignation letter, there was caste census, caste Kalelkar Commission was appointed after that demand only. He has demanded in his resignation letter that BC Commission will be enacted. And even Nehru government is utopian socialistic approach is there. That is why they have not conducted. Till even in 1961 and 1971, Indira Gandhi government is not taken the caste census, and Nehru government has not taken. It is in the first time the nation has Janata Party government came, non-Congress government came in 1977 after the emergency. They formed the government and they have implemented the, Mandal Commission was established because of this Morarji Desai government. And this Mandal Commission submitted is the report on the basis of the 1931 census. And this was, the Mandal Commission was implemented later than the VP Singh government in 1990. Till date, even the Mandal Commission has recommended education reservation for and job reservation for the OBCs. Till date, the Indian governments are not implementing their oath and 27% reservations. As of today, only 7% of the railway employees are OBCs. These reservations were being implemented since 1993. After 28 years of the reservation implementations, only 7% employees are the OBCs in the railways. I am taking the data of the railways because this gives the largest chunk of the employment in India. This implementation is not being done, and even in the law universities nowadays, the reservation is not implemented in the law universities, nationwide law universities. And till 1 month back, the reservations were not implemented in the medical colleges also. That is why this government should introspect themselves and serve to the OBCs, and they have promised to the OBCs they will conduct the census enumerations in 2010. Their promises should be made true to the people.
So there is this misconception among upper caste that if we talk about caste, that will perpetuate caste, and that that is there right from the very beginning. If you look at Congress leadership, right from Jawaharlal Nehru, so their approach to this whole problem was that if we ignore it, it will somehow because of modernity, it will somehow get destroyed or pass away. But we know that that hasn't happened. But because of this kind of thinking, the Congress party, its leadership, and even like upper caste academia, civil society, they were opposed to OBC reservation or reservation in general, and also to the caste census. And that point is being made even now. Like if you look at a lot of the discussion that is happening around caste system, we see that a lot of upper castes are saying that if we start counting castes, like noting down the names, that will perpetuate caste system further. But that is a complete lie. Like if we have to solve a problem, or find a solution, we have to acknowledge that that problem exists, and in what condition that problem exists, like what exactly is the nature of that problem. And that we can understand only if we conduct this caste system, because right now we already have lists of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes. The number of all these castes goes into thousands. Like if you look at all the castes in this list, that number will be about 5 to 6,000. It is only the upper caste, whose names are not in any of the lists. And, they know that, once we know how many upper castes are there, what is their population, and what kind of socio-economic resources they have, cornered over generations, over centuries, that will expose the kind of inequality that the country has along caste lines. And they know this instinctively, and that is why they are opposing caste census. So, and because upper caste dominate, academia, civil society, and also, politics, executive, etc. That is why they are like fiercely opposing the caste census.
My next question is, why do you think is the BJP is a little hesitant on to conduct a caste census? Do you feel they fear that there will be more demand for quota in such a case? Is that the main reason for this?
Of course, the BJP is the upper caste party. Dominant upper castes are in the Brahminical. They have the Brahminical and Manuvadis are there in the BJP, and they are controlling the even Nagpur is controlling the BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. They have given economically weaker section 10% reservation. This decision has taken in 3 to 4 days, whereas only 3% of the population are upper caste in the Tamil Nadu, and they are getting the 10% reservation against their 3%. This has, in the Indira Sahani case, 50% cap was fixed on the reservations. Even though overcoming this 50% cap, the BJP government has being implemented the 10% extra EWS reservation. This shows that the BJP government is very much inclined towards to the upper caste. And they now says that they have 27 OBC ministers in the Modi government, and Modi says that he himself is an OBC leader. But the fact is, no single IAS officer there in the Prime Minister office. All upper caste only. Only out of the 90 IAS officers in the Prime Minister office, only one SC and one ST IAS officer there, and no single IAS officer from the BC community, OBC community there in the Prime Minister office. They controls and they implements the policies of the government. And where at the helm of the affairs, no OBC was there. That is why we OBC were suffering since the independence. And even Kaka Kalelkar committee, he himself from the upper caste. And Nehru says that it is not needed to implement the Kaka Kalelkar Commission's recommendations. That is why this upper caste approach, even though BJP and Congress, they are the two sides of the one kind, and the two parties are dominated by the Brahmins, and they tune to the demands of the upper caste only. They never respect the demands of the backward class OBCs, and that is why this ruckus is happening, and they introspect to themselves, and they should conduct the OBC census. This OBC Morcha president Bangaru M. Lakshman is from the Telangana. He says that no, we will talk to the Prime Minister Modi and Shah and try to implement the OBC. This pressure should be come from all sides, and then only this demand will be met from the Prime Minister office. I think so. That.
I think more than the opposing, I mean that the reservation demands will grow. I think it is BJP's principal stand to oppose caste census, to oppose reservation. Like even now, when they support reservation policy, it is out of political compulsion than they actually believing in that policy. And that's that is true about caste census as well. Because if you look at BJP's ideology, the core ideology is Hindu unity. And if you conduct caste census, that will show that this Hindu unity is actually not ground reality. Like that Hindus are divided into like thousands of castes, and that reality will come out, and also it will show that upper castes are the main beneficiaries of this divide, and that goes against BJP's ideology because BJP the ideology, their ideology is to like further upper caste interests, even though they, talk about, like having so many Bahujan ministers or like supporting, pro Bahujan policies. That is, they all, all this is for like political purposes, not because they actually believe in all those things. And that is why, they will always oppose reservation policy. They will oppose caste census, unless they are like really forced by social movements or political reasons to support those policies.
Okay. My next question is, do you think any kind of affirmative action can become stronger only if we have a caste census?
The government should take the affirmative actions. Even earlier government, earlier Congress government used to the Jyotiba Phule scholarships to the scholars in the universities. This has withdrawn the BJP government. And Ambedkar study centers were given the funds, and Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai Phule centers were given much huge funds to research on the OBCs and Dalits. But this BJP government has not extended this funding, and they have withdrawn from this funding. Even the UGC is backed up. These affirmative actions should be taken. Apart from the affirmative action, the government should conduct the enumeration of the OBCs. If you find the data, the OBCs will demand that in the certain constituency we are dominant, we are 80%. You should give the tickets to the our dominant caste in that locality. This demand will arise, then only to subset this demand, the central government is not conducting the enumeration, because we the OBCs will demand that we are so much percent in this certain constituency, certain parliament constituency, or in the assembly segment. If these demands will arise, the dominant upper caste will not get tickets in this party, and that's why they are suppressing the demand of the OBCs. This, apart from affirmative action, the government should implement the scholarships to the OBCs, and they have open centers on the Savitribai Phule in every university too.
I have a small interjection sort of to make. Here it says that the reservations are for other backward classes and not for the other backward castes. So do you think the caste census will help in this? And how do you feel how does this come in?
While making the constitution, this has this wrong step has gone, because scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are there in the schedule. That is why they have to conduct the enumeration, and they have to be given their share of budget in the sub-plan. Whereas BC's backward classes, caste is different from the class. Even while in the constitution, caste word should be included. This demand of the caste should be word should be included in the backward caste was demanded by the some Amaravati parliament member. But the K.M. Munshi is rejected. K.M. Munshi is the influential Brahmanical Patel's ally, and he rejected that, including the word of the caste in the constitution. That is why we have not got the share in the caste system. And if the caste was included then in the constitution, even in 1953, Kaka Kalarkar committee itself will give us the backward caste data, and the census will be given in that. This has not happened because of the, then also the upper caste domination was there in the Constituent Assembly. That is why this word is not included in that.
Yeah, so if you look at the legal debates, even though the word says classes, it has been, understood as caste. So Kaka Kalarkar Commission also had to acknowledge that backwardness, will have to be defined in terms of caste only, even though Kalarkar himself was, opposed to it ideologically. The commission had to acknowledge caste as the basis of backwardness. And initially, the courts were, really opposed to acknowledging caste, as the primary factor of backwardness. Eventually, they had to accept it, because in India, you cannot understand backwardness without caste. And so, when we come to 1980s, 1990s, by the Indira Sahni judgment, it is well understood that even though the term is other backward classes, it actually means caste. And that is why the census will actually it will be, so primarily it will affect other backward classes, because SC/STs they are already counted, and their socioeconomic status we already know. And it might also affect EWS reservation, because the whole basis of that is that there are poor people among upper caste. So if we have census, we will know what percentage, what is their total percentage, and out of that, how many of them actually are poor. So that data will also be out. And I feel that people who support EWS, they should support the caste census, because then you will have real figures for poverty among upper caste.
Okay. So during the Manmohan government's time, and Manmohan Singh government time, there was a socio-economic caste census of sorts that was collated, and a report was filed, but that report was never released. Do you feel that it's time to release that report at least?
Yeah, because here also upper caste cabinet was made the things other way around. Because then the Home Minister was Chidambaram in the 2011. He is a Brahmin. And the advisor was the Pranab Mukherjee. He is also a Brahmin. And they advised that this is not the time to conduct the census on the caste basis. But persistent demand of the Veerappa Moily, the government has conducted the data, socio-economical survey data in 2011 separately. And they have spent 4,500 crores on that census. The thing is, if you conduct the census by the registrar of Census Registrar of India, then only the Supreme Court accepts that census. Otherwise, your census will not be accepted by the Supreme Court of the India. If the Supreme Court of the India not accepted, and this will not hold the to the this will not give the correct data. If the Supreme Court accepts on, then only this data will have the sanctity. In the 2011 data, the Anganwadi teachers and fourth class employees and Tom, Dick and persons were taken the census because the government has not in the sense, if the census has taken by the census registrar of Central India, the teachers will count the census and enumerate. Whereas in the social economical data, the enumeration was conducted by the Anganwadi workers. And there is 4,500 corrections were needed for the, they said in the, after submission of the socio-economical survey. Nowadays, supercomputers has come and you can correct any wrong data. If the government is ready to release the data, they have every choice to do the wrong things correct. And if this has to be done, the government, even the Modi government said in the parliament, they have already data with them. And no, who is objecting to release this data? They have come and release the data, and according to that data, they have to implement the government welfare policies. This has to be done.
Yeah, if the government really wants to release that data, they can. I mean, they have been giving excuses so far that the data is too complicated, they could not process it. But if the British could do caste census way back in 19th century and 20th century, when we have like such advanced technology, why can't we do it now? So we know that, what they're saying is, all excuses. If they can't do it, they can at least release the raw data to independent researchers and they can work on it. So it's not difficult for them if they, and they did release, the census said socio-economic caste census. So the social part and the economic part of the census was released. Only the caste part was withheld. And, we can easily, guess that that was because they did not want that data to come out.
Now, Chidambaram has had cited that there are, different states have different caste lists, etc. And sometimes it is difficult to get a accurate data collated, etc. That was what was said. Do you think an effective caste census is really possible?
Yeah, 100% possible, because nowadays the computer has permutations to calculate any kind of data. Supercomputers are there, and we were the masters in the information technology field. And Indian people, Indian software experts has the very know-how about the software and the know-how about the data, and they any permutations will give correct data. That is why this government should first they say they should ready to take the enumeration on the caste, and then 1 lakh caste will be there. Even the 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh castes be there, and we can count by the enumerators being provided the tabs, and this will be go directly to the supercomputer, and this data will be analyzed in a 1 or 2 months, and thus the data will be uploaded in any website. This will be come onto the books, and data will be available to the people in the every nook and corner of the people. One more thing I would like to add, that is the Tamil Nadu government has implementing 69% reservation, and some other states are implementing more than 50% reservations. Even the 69% reservation is being implemented in Tamil Nadu. No caste clashes are being happening there, and they are the one of the highest contributor of the Indian GST, and they are progressing and contributing and developing. This shows that caste census will not uh, mar the uh, unity of the people, and that is why they should enumerate the caste census.
Yeah, I think if the government, yeah, if the government wants to conduct caste census, it won't be difficult. Like the way they are now counting SCs and STs, they have a list which, so the person has to choose a caste from that list, and we already have a list for OBCs. And if it won't be difficult, for government to prepare a fresh list of upper castes, like whatever, like whatever castes are there in the country, they can do sample surveys, or they can employ sociologists and other researchers, and a list can be easily prepared. And if there is some household which does not fall in any of those castes that are in the list, there can be a separate column for that. And I don't think there will be more than 5% in that other column. So I think it's very easy if the government wants to do it. All it will take is like the will to do it.
I have one last question. How do you view this renewed demand and the backdrop of the OBC bill being passed by the parliament? And also, do you think the OBC community within itself has demanded vociferously for this caste census to be conducted? And if yes, why? If not, why not?
In the next year, the Uttar Pradesh elections, assembly elections will be held. And this is Uttar Pradesh is the heart of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And they want to gain the elections by saying that we are with the OBCs as well as with the Brahmin caste. And they are dilly-dallying with the two people, and their ally Rashtriya Janata Dal is leading a committee members to the Prime Minister, and they are part and parcel of the Bharatiya Janata Party at the center, and they are not categorically demanding you should enumerate the caste census, otherwise we will withdraw the support. And they are not saying like that. They are only requesting the central government. If they are, they have very much faith in the people, they should say that we will withdraw support if you won't take the enumerations. And as well as in the Uttar Pradesh, the Mulayam Singh Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav is in the forefront. That is why two subside is upcoming. They said that we will see the enumerations will be held in the 2021. They will not categorically say. They say one thing in the parliament, one thing the OBC Lakshman OBC Morcha BJP OBC Morcha president saying another thing in the week interview. That is why they are dilly-dallying, and people's they are not meeting the people's demand. And they say one more thing. They are saying that if the states are willing to conduct the census, they are at their wish they will conduct the enumerations. This will not hold the right, because the census should be done by the registrar of the census only. This state census will not be guaranteed. And they will not, even the Telangana government and Karnataka government conducted the caste census in the 2015, and they are not revealing it, and they are not revealing the data and using this data to their ends, because in the Telangana state, the TRS government using this data to contest the elections, who in which assembly segment, which caste is upper, which caste is more people, and they are giving the seats, tickets to that caste people, and they are using this data to their ends. That's why we have to every political party, activists, OBC leaders should come, unite, and demand for the enumerations on the caste basis in the 2021 itself. Otherwise, another 10 years will take, and this demand will be met only by the united effort only.
Tejas, would you like to take the question on whether there has been demand from the OBC community itself for a caste census?
There has been. So in some parts of Maharashtra, there was this campaign that if the OBC census is not conducted, we will not give data to enumerators. So that campaign was going on a couple of years ago, and now also activists are again starting that campaign that if you don't count us, we will not be part of the census at all. So you cannot collect other data about us as well. And even a lot of the OBC leaders right from 2000, they have been demanding this. Lalu Prasad Yadav, Chhagan Bhujbal in Maharashtra, now Stalin in Tamil Nadu, or Akhilesh Yadav in UP. So all of these leaders are asking for caste census, and even activists on social media and even on ground, they are campaigning for caste census. So that demand is pretty widespread among OBCs.
I think we've come to the end of our interview. Thank you so much, Mr. Sangeet Shetty and Tejas. Thank you so much for joining the News Minute for this session. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.